Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, a great way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by commenting, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. There's a couple of things to cover. At the moment, the amount of internet activity and belief that Bitcoin is going to skyrocket is at a brand new all-time high. People are completely losing their minds over the idea of the events that are supposed to be happening today will lead to this new stratospheric Bitcoin price. It says Bitcoin open interest hints the Bitcoin price action to hit $100,000 soon. Ethereum price holds bullish case aiming for $4,400. I saw an article, I believe yesterday, that said that during this next, movement in price, not even the actual continuation of the bull run upwards, they're expecting Ethereum to hit $6,500 quite easily. It says the Bitcoin bubble hasn't even started yet. We are currently in a moment, a time in history where a lot of things are happening at the exact same time. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There are so many things happening within the cryptocurrency space. The idea that not only is Bitcoin going to move up, but the rest of the market is going to move up is something we've heard for the last couple of weeks. But every single analyst is saying the exact same thing, except for one who I believe we spoke about yesterday. But the guy's a bit of he's an interesting fella. The idea of the bubble not having started yet is that historically we have seen when we do have these actual parabolic bull run movements, Bitcoin typically does anywhere from a 3, 4 to 5x from its current price, and then eventually we get to that crazy level. And I explained that to you months ago. That is this euphoric phase that we have yet to enter. It's still like a bit of timidity. Everyone's still waiting to see if Bitcoin can not only pass its previous all-time high, but get, hold above that for a couple of days, if not weeks, what have you. Bitcoin will probably be officially in a bubble if we end up going above 200 something or other $1,000 from where we currently are right now. But alas, I believe we still have time until we actually get there. It says bullish ? On chain signal previously preceding parabolic Bitcoin run flashes. I could show you 38,000 different articles saying the exact same thing or something similar to it. These are not all the same analysts. It's usually a wide array of 15 different ones who are looking through their own charts. And they're all saying these numbers are flashing. These things are flashing. Someone posted something yesterday on Instagram from the guy Plan B. I think he wrote like, "Are you ready?" or something like that, because his charts are also showing that we've had a dip, which we had over the last 2 or 3 months or something or other like that. And now it's time for the market to go up according to all of their charts. No one knows for sure. This one's a bit more graphic. It says all bears will, I'll say the word, disappear. It says Bitcoin metric prepares to flip green for the first time in 6 months. We are entering this really, I'm telling you, of course, time will only tell. I assume by the middle of November, if not the beginning of December, it should be abundantly clear if all of this has actually taken place. But everyone seemingly is of the same exact mindset that the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin's price more so, is getting ready to completely take off. On top of that, the only altcoin news besides the Ethereum news, it says Binance just cleared over $500 million of its native token from circulation, the most valuable burn in dollar terms to date. Binance has recently completed its 17th token burn. Over 1 million Binance coin were removed from circulation, comparable to previous burns. However, due to the increased token value, this is the highest value burn to date. It was $640 million worth of Binance coin. Binance announced this from the very beginning when they created the coin, that they would have a bi-weekly, tri-weekly, quadrill week, I don't know, type of coin burn. It happens every couple of months. We usually get news about it kind of all the time. It ends up making the news because it usually is some type of a brand new higher than the one that we previously saw before. So yeah, they're going to keep burning coins until they only have 100 million Binance coins left. The price, I believe, spiked or has been spiking in the last couple of days as we were leading up to this. It says Binance coin price all set to break $500 level today with a $639 million coin burn. Nothing too surprising there. Binance is I believe, the largest crypto exchange by volume, some other metric. I'm not really sure. It's them and Coinbase, but Binance is Binance. Anyway, that's all the price news. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that we've heard over the last week. Prices are going to go up. Everyone's expecting Bitcoin to go up. Bitcoin's going to go a lot higher. Bitcoin's going to 100,000. The bubble hasn't started yet. But you kind of know the entire thing. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's move on. This is one of the most popular news stories of the day. This week, allegedly, marks a major milestone in the crypto world as the first United States Bitcoin ETF begins trading today. The news fueled a rally last week, driving the price of Bitcoin above $60,000 for the first time since May. The ETF, officially known as the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, and is set to trade under the ticker BITO, offers a new way to buy Bitcoin on the stock market. And then they have like an explanation as to what an ETF actually is. This, of course, boys and girls, is the most popular news story of the day, is that we finally, air quotes, have a Bitcoin ETF within the United States. It is going to be a futures ETF, which means there is going to be no physical Bitcoin actually tied to this as a normal Bitcoin ETF would. But alas, the institutional interest and hype and happiness is still allegedly there. I've been seeing so much news about this Bitcoin futures ETF thing, about them launching. Other companies who are also trying to launch. This company has withdrawn their proposal for a Bitcoin ETF, and now they're putting forth a Bitcoin futures ETF proposal as well. It's all over the place. It seemed a bit redundant to constantly have that same news in this actual video. But alas, today is apparently the day, I assume in the next couple of hours when the rest of the world ends up waking up, or more so the United States, this is going to take place. It says ProShares Bitcoin Futures ETF to finally list on the New York Stock Exchange. ProShares Bitcoin ETF to debut on NYSE today. ProShares Bitcoin ETF will reach Wall Street on Tuesday. The first ever Bitcoin futures ETF in the USA to debut on Tuesday. Everyone's quite excited about this. We will see exactly what happens, what ends up taking place, where Bitcoin's price goes, what's going to transpire. I don't know if you've seen the article floating around. There's one, it says, it shows gold's price before gold actually had a gold ETF, and then the moment gold had a gold ETF, the price of it, I think, quadrupled, skyrocketed. It did something spectacular and wonderful. People made a lot of money. So this is why a lot of people are predicting, because we will finally have a Bitcoin ETF in some sort of fashion in the United States, that therefore Bitcoin is going to gear up for a 3 or 4x. Once again, you know, Bitcoin is still mathematically going to still have a 3 or 4x by itself. So maybe that only multiplies it because the ETF is actually there. Bitcoin does not need an ETF. Bitcoin does not need futures or derivatives or anything else. It is simply being adopted by countries around the world because government economic policies are absolute garbage. However, yeah, the excitement's there for the Bitcoin ETF. So I think this is also the exact same thing. This is also something else. Bloomberg analyst, it says a second Bitcoin futures ETF could start trading this week as well. I'm going to assume if this one actually launches, I'm still hesitant because I refuse to say that one is going to actually launch until it has officially done so, because the SEC has a track record of the last, because this also happened for those of you who weren't here about a year or two ago. There was another company, it wasn't an ETF, but there was another cryptocurrency. There were two cryptocurrency companies who had been given the green light to do something, and the day that those things actually launched, that's when the SEC also stepped in and said, we didn't give you the green light. And they were like, no, you definitely did. But alas, once again, the SEC is special. So I assume if this does launch, we are going to have a plethora of companies, institutions, banks, barabaras who are going to be mimicking the exact same thing. And then we will have 1,000 Bitcoin futures ETFs, and you kind of know the story from there. Major news. Let's see if it works out. I would, of course, love if Bitcoin would go to six figures. It will happen eventually, regardless if we have an ETF or not. And without further ado, let's move on. And I guess you can call this the pay up news. I don't know how to really title this. For some reason over the last couple of days, and I assume a lot of this has been done to try and drag down our market. Normally, this is about the 38th time this is happening, not a fake number. Whenever the crypto market is doing too well, whenever prices are really rising, whenever things are looking really great, whenever we have any actual news that Bitcoin is going to pass by a new all-time high, Bitcoin's going to do this, Ethereum looks poised to end up moving in this direction, $4,000-$5,000, you kind of get the idea. We always get some type of regulatory news. The really heavy regulatory news that used to affect the market is something about Tether. This news happened days ago, but there's still news about this trickling into the news as if this is something that people should actually be paying attention to. The entire idea is if there's negative Tether news, this is the idea, not what should take place. The idea is if there's negative Tether news, therefore the cryptocurrency market will also react negatively. I told you all to pay attention to this years ago. It's very odd that every single time that we get news from analysts that our market is, ready to go, China rebans Bitcoin. Every single time that it looks like we are about to, pump by 10, 15, 20% in the market over the next couple of weeks, India decides to talk about rebanning Bitcoin. And it's kind of this loop that we've been going through for a very long time. And Tether has also been a part of this. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says Tether and Bitfinex ordered to pay $42 million fine by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Do you want to know why this is non-news? For those of you who were not here 3 months ago, we had similar news like this already. The idea is that Tether and Bitfinex were being investigated, scooped into something by the CFTC, and we should all be worried. And then we went over the article together, and it was something from 2017 that was now being resolved. And that's the fine you see on the screen right there. So, once again, non-news, but still part of the pay-up kind of news. Tying also into this as well, this was, when I said that the Bitcoin futures ETF news was one of the most popular news stories of the day, I find it quite peculiar that also this news right here also made the most popular news story of the day. Kind of weird that every single time our market is getting ready to move up, we seemingly have tons of non-news, I'm going to call this. This on the screen and the other tabs for this news are completely non-news. They're news that should have absolutely no impact on our market, should have no impact on Bitcoin's price. However, it's constantly pushed into the news as something that we should explicitly care about, but you should not. For those of you who are unaware, it says New York's Attorney General hits Nexo and 4 other companies with more regulatory action. What the New York Attorney General and many other regulators are doing right now is they're going after any single cryptocurrency company that they possibly can. It's not that these aren't warranted in certain fashions. Sure, why not? The thing that the New York Attorney General is at the moment going after are companies who are lending out cryptocurrencies. This is probably, once again, well warranted. Sure, why not? A lot of companies keep popping onto the space telling you, hey, lend us some of your coins and I'll promise that I'll give you back more. And a lot of times it's actually not happening. However, this news once again gets pushed into the cryptocurrency space and also onto actual local other news platforms that people see around the country or around the globe as something negative for crypto. People are getting into crypto just to lend out crypto and do something fraudulent with it. Well, we clearly need regulations, and that's kind of the old, not even an old wives' tale. That's kind of the story that we constantly get pushed over and over in this market. So, as it stands right now, the New York Attorney General has gone after 5 different cryptocurrency, air quote, companies who have been lending out cryptocurrency to other people. I assume they found something. I assume something was amiss. I assume something was as it should not have possibly been. However, once again, this keeps making the news. I find the timing a little weird, especially as all the analysts are saying that Bitcoin is going to hit 6 figures. Alas, if you read this news, if you see this news, if one of your friends comes to you today saying, hey, this news happened, should I be worried? Tell them no. It has nothing to do with our market. It has to do with an actual company who has an actual physical space who these people walked into, handed them a piece of paper and said, you're doing something wrong. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's totally fine. The network hasn't slowed down any slower than it already is. Transactions are still going through it. Governments are still adopting Bitcoin and investors are still buying into the market. Yeah. And on top of that as well, and also non-news, Bakkt went live, or yes, you can say live, on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. And I told you it was a little weird because Bakkt is the New York Stock Exchange, and the New York Stock Exchange listed themselves as Bakkt onto the New York Stock Exchange. Sure, why not? Bakkt was originally a company who tried to be the it of the cryptocurrency space, the same exact way that Coinbase basically views themselves as like the king of crypto. Bakkt was trying to do that for Bitcoin futures, derivatives, you kind of name it. They also partnered with tons of different companies years ago to be able to allow people to transact in Bitcoin and Starbucks and all these other places. But once again, not many people are too keen on selling off an asset that could potentially 5, 6, 7, 8, 9x over the next year and a half. So Bakkt decided yesterday that they were going to go live on the New York Stock Exchange themselves, and then they went live, and then the price fell down by around, it says 6%. Probably a couple of reasons. People probably don't even like Bakkt. People aren't really using them. We had news last year. I think they had a month where they had I think $0 volume on one of their, I think they had Bitcoin futures like 0. Like they had no one trading an entire month. No one was touching their platform. And also, it's a cryptocurrency company. I would love if, probably not going to happen, but I would love if people realize that they should be, not financial advice, that if you want to get into the market, you invest directly into the cryptocurrencies or the coins or the tokens yourself. You don't need a company who is buying it for you, who's going to hand you a certificate that says, hey, we're holding on to this for you, but it's still yours, I promise. So anyway, yeah, Bakkt fell down by 6%. I assume if Bitcoin goes to $78,000, $94,000, Bakkt will also rise, as everything in the cryptocurrency space would all move up at the exact same time. But the news right now is that it didn't. Yeah. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu Wishniki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Joe Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Pat Ternoster, Conan Don't Skip, Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 56, I'm like screaming, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Ebibiophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moher Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Calskips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Machonisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola and Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who left a comment, who has subscribed. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am having, so for those of you who are aware and are not aware, you're going to be aware right now. I'm launching an NFT collection tomorrow called Buddy Bears. There's a link, should be, in the description below. I am doing a free giveaway tomorrow on Twitter. It'll be posted today, but I'm letting you know in advance before everyone else. On Twitter, if you want to try and win a free NFT from me, basically go to Twitter and then you have a chance to be able to win one. And for those of you, I'm pretty sure there's a Twitter link inside of the description. And if not, type in Modern Investor Twitter. You should find it quite easily. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently up by 0.41%. It is at 62,113 US dollars. No reason why it should not be $64,000 right now. Binance Coin is currently up by 3.4%. Bitcoin had a little swoop down. Binance Coin has also had a little swoop down as well. Litecoin is currently up by 2.6%. Shiba Inu is up by 3% as well. The amount of Shiba Inu attention is quite intense at the moment. If you look around online or even on Instagram, it is quite intense, might I say. Tron is up by 1%. Phantom is up by 11 percentile points. OKB is up by 14% as well. Yeah. Everything is in red. We'll see exactly what ends up happening as the day goes on. However, I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all have had, continue to have, might have at some points in the day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See